So I went and shared with my mom, my real mom. I was like, Mom, I went to the doctor and this is my problem. Of course, mom was like, if you are not getting married, then get a baby for yourself. So I went and shared with him and said, Mom, the challenge I have is that I need adequate sex, but now I don't have a husband. I'm not.
That is a conversation you can only have with your mother.
I'm no longer meeting Mwamboga. So what do I do? My friends are telling me I look for a young boy. So my mom, like, if you can get a young boy and he can clear your barrenness, I have no problem. You know. You know how Bukusu can put it.
Yeah, very crudely.
If you can get the boy and then you give me a grandchild and, erase that name of a barren, then I have no problem. So I was like, they called the boy to come around. When they came around, I was like, yes, I stay with your boy. We are in a relationship, but we had not reached a certain stage. Why? Because people believe around here that I'm HIV positive. And your boy is still young. He's maybe having a chain of girlfriends. And then he doesn't want to know his status. So the dad was like, oh, so that is what it is. Then it was like, he was like, let me call the boy. So the boy came around. And when he came around, the dad said that, talk to him about the counseling and testing.
The importance of testing.
But the dad was also saying that he has never tested, that he was willing now to test. The mother was having a young girl, and he said, I was tested when I was pregnant, so I can still do it. So the boy, seeing that the father was willing to test, and then he has never tested, so that is how he tested. So I told the parents, if your boy will be found with any problem, now you know my status. So from there is when we started being intimate.
Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Of course, this is Culture Hub TV, your number one online TV and the only TV across Eastern and Central Africa where you will always find exclusive videos of different traditions and cultures of different tribes of Africa. Back to our today's business. As you all know, this is Kitchen Talk, and besides me I have two wonderful ladies who maybe let them introduce themselves first before we tell you what we are going to do today.
Thank you. Maybe before I introduce the program, today we are having a visitor. So I think I'll give her an opportunity to introduce herself before now we tell you what today is all about.
My name is Lena Wanyama. It is a pleasure for me to be invited by Culture Hub TV.
Lena, I can see you are doing a wonderful job for us. Maybe, what are you doing?
I'm frying groundnuts. Yeah, we would like to prepare a meal that it will make some soup or some sauce for us. It will have. We are making banana.
Or maybe before you talk much, let her introduce the program first.
Okay. I can see Lena struggling to actually understand what we want to cook. Being my visitor, she might not know what I really have for you guys. Today in our kitchen talk, we are going to have we are going to do it differently. In the process of cooking, we realize that the kitchen is the safest place for anybody.
Yeah, sure.
And we realize that it's in the kitchen that our emotions, because being a hot kitchen, our emotions are warmed up and they flow freely. So that is why we decided that instead of just cooking and making some small talk with you the way we do, we thought, why can't we deal with real issues?
Yeah, sure.
We have realized that so many people are dealing with the issues that they have really bottled up. You know, mental illness is real.
Yeah, sure.
But I think we have not given it a lot of attention. People are only talking about cancer, HIV, diabetes, pressure. And the monster actually is the mental ailment.
Yeah.
Until somebody sees you removing your clothes and walking naked is when an attention will be given to you. But now we thought there are so many things that are giving people mental turmoil. So we thought, why not in our safe space talk about issues that are really affecting people?
Yeah, really.
So from today, we shall be bringing you our kitchen talk with the real issues. We want to talk about things that are hurting people. but they don't have a voice. They don't have a platform. They don't know how safe it is to share their stories and how it will be appreciated and taken by other people. So that is why we have introduced this topic in our kitchen. As we cook, let us hear what is also cooking in us. That is why we have our guest, Lena. Lena is going to share one of her stories that she really feels sits heavy on her, and she really wants to let it out. So as we do that, today we are preparing a meal of green bananas, in a groundnut sauce. That is why you see Lena is preparing our groundnuts. We want them to cook. She is roasting them. Then after that, we shall blend them. You know, we are modern.
Yeah.
Ideally, people use the pestle and mortar. But for us, we use the blender. So we shall blend it. Then we shall make a paste and add in our groundnuts when it's just almost ready. That is how we enrich the bananas. You see now the banana is carbohydrates. Then the groundnuts are all fats and proteins. Then we shall have chicken stew. And you see, like I was actually preparing my chicken. So we are going to have a meal. So as we let it out, we also let it in.
Sure.
So welcome to the program. Be with us. Listen to our stories. And you never know, somebody outside there might just be able to get some help. So as Lena continues with the groundnuts, I think then we can be able to continue with our chicken.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as we proceed, So for those of us maybe who don't know the procedure of making
you have
chicken.
washed your hands, eh?
Yes, I already did.
Okay.
Okay, so the chicken is already slaughtered. I can see the
we have burned it on the jiko.
Oh, you burned it.
Yes.
You burn it.
You see why we do that? You know, when you are doing your chicken, sometimes it remains with some small feathers.
Yeah, feathers.
So when you want to remove the feathers, you pass it on some coal or heat, so that you don't have those feathers in your soup. It irritates you, or it doesn't make the soup really look nice. So we have done that. Then now we are cutting the pieces.
Okay.
So some people get challenged, especially when they are cutting the chicken.
Yeah.
So it also needs it's also an art.
It's an art.
Yeah. So, and they say, like, I being a Luya and I'm good at that, the only thing we throw out on the chicken is actually the sound.
The sound.
Otherwise,
but everything.
We eat almost everything. That is why you see now we remove this.
That's its stomach, or what is that?
This is now where the chicken stores its
the food before it's digested.
So before you cut, so that this doesn't get into your meat, you remove it. So you just touch here.
Okay, wait. Oh, so you've already removed it.
Yeah. Now I want you to hold it like this. So you have to do it so that also your pieces do not. After doing that, now you catch this and just peel it off.
As simple as that.
As simple. It looks simple, but it gives a lot of people a lot of trouble.
Yeah, sure.
So just no, I don't. I haven't told you to pull.
Okay.
I've told
just
you to hold
it. Okay.
And be careful with your hand.
You should be. You are the one who should be careful.
So you see, like when I cut like this, you can see it has just gone in the middle of the chicken.
The chicken.
So
that's how you separate.
Yeah, you just separate it, and the pieces are naturally separated. You just follow the way it is.
Yeah. And the yellow stuffs, what are they?
Those are the fats. Looks like this chicken was actually almost laying the eggs, or it was actually. So you see this fat, like, actually it was preparing to lay. So, no, I want you to hold this here, so that you don't pull, you just hold. So you see the way our chicken is fatty, it also means when we are going to cook it, we shall not use a lot of oil, or maybe we might not use any oil. Now that it's Lena who is going to cook this chicken for us,
you can cook without oil.
The safest way of cooking chicken is without fats. Now that it has got its own natural fats.
So from here, what next?
From here, You can get a sufuria that is near you so that we put the pieces. And now we wash.
This one?
Yes, that is okay. So we put it there. Because we also want our chicken clean.
Yeah, we want it clean.
Yeah. The reason why I'm not removing this fat is because I want us to use this fat now eventually to cook our chicken.
Okay, I'll wash this one.
Please.
Is there a special way of washing chicken?
You just wash it clean.
Okay. I think I need another sufuria or somewhere to put.
Yes. I'll just give you a sufuria now.
Let me clean this basin.
Yeah, here. So I want you to make sure it is clean. You can even wash at least more than once to ensure that it's clean enough.
Yeah, I have some water here to rinse.
You know our sink is double.
Yeah.
So you can use.
This is
just
pure,
wash, no, but you have to wash inside.
Inside where? Oh. So this one is, what is the name of it?
That is the gizzard.
Okay.
What they say in the Luya household, that is now meat for the father.
For the father. And now in this
I wonder the women-led families who eats the gizzard.
I guess the one who assumes the role
of the father.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, because this chicken has a lot of fat, and we also put some little salt, and then today we shall not cook using the cooker, because the gas cooker, because we are going to have a talk. We want it to boil slowly, so that it can also be tender. And I don't know why I have this feeling that when you cook on the jiko, the meat is sweeter.
Becomes sweeter.
So we shall put the jiko, and then we shall let it simmer as we now talk about our issues. Okay.
Where's the... Okay. Mama.
The salt is here.
And here is our jiko.
So you will add some more charcoal.
Hey. That's enough.
Okay, that's enough. So we shall put our chicken. Then, now the chicken has decided to go. Maybe you can support it with something.
Let's see.
Elena, you will excuse me. So can we put it on slow so that we can be able to start on our logo? Okay, fine.
So
So our chicken will boil.
Mm-hmm.
Then our Lena has said she will put the njugu
on low heat
fire, so that it dries properly. So you see, when the njugu is properly dried, even when you blend it, it will give you that aroma of roasted groundnuts. So that is what we want to achieve in the bananas. So in the meantime, let us get on our table and talk about issues.
So guys, I told you, this is Culture Hub TV. If you haven't subscribed, you should consider doing so right now. So from here, from the kitchen, I am taking you where we are going to share our issues, matters. As my co-host already told you, my co-host Nekesa, she told you we have some guests. Lena, she's going to share with us her story, her real life story, and we are going to see how it turns out. We have someone special. I don't want to introduce her. She's going to be a surprise. So let's not waste much time. Come with me. And so guys, here we are. Like I told you initially, you had already interacted with Lena. That's my co-host. And like I told you, we have a special guest. And maybe my co-host will take over from there.
Okay, thank you, our viewers. As I said while we were in the kitchen preparing the chicken, I said we want to deal with real issues. And we said we have a guest. Lena is our guest. She's a person I've known for some time, and today she wants to tell us her story. You know, everybody has a story.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you are dealing with the real issues, sometimes you also need to get real people to deal with it.
Yeah, sure.
And that is why today on our set we have a very special guest. She will introduce herself and actually tell us what she does for a living. Karibu daktari.
Asante sana. My name is Maslin Wafula. I'm a psychologist by profession, and that is what we practice in our day-to-day. Mental health is key to us, and as we have said, that is the biggest elephant in the house. If we deal with mental health, all these other issues can be dealt with well. Thank you so much.
Okay, karibu daktari.
Asante.
You have heard it. Mental health is the elephant in the room. So that is where we are. So Lena, karibu kwangu leo.
Thank you.
We want to just tell us about yourself. Maybe for those who don't know you, tell us about your name, where you come from, and your marital status, and what maybe you do for a living.
My name is Lena Wanyama. I come from Namwela, but I stay in Sirisia. I've settled in Sirisia, and I'm unmarried. I've never been married in the rest of my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are not married. You are a single.
I'm single.
Today we want to
maybe if I could ask her something. You said you are married. Unmarried. Sorry. Is it by choice or circumstances?
It is not by choice. Any normal woman will reach a certain age that she will want to settle in her own home, have a home, have children, and stay like a real woman.
Yes.
Like God created us to move from our parents' home to your new home, of course through marriage, and of course have children.
Yes.
So it is not by choice. It's because it just came.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think we have heard Lena is single, but not by choice.
Yeah.
I've known Lena for a number of years. She's my niece. She's a cousin to my children, and she's like Lena is family.
Yeah.
I've known her. I've interacted with her. And there is one thing that Lena has really wanted to have in life. The way she tells you, she has wanted to have a family and children. But maybe Lena can tell us her journey up to now.
Yeah, sure.
Because I think that is why we are here.
Yes.
And because I don't want to say her story when she's here, maybe she can just give us a brief run through her life from where she was. Like now she's a girl of around 23, maybe 24. You are now ready for marriage. That is the time girls want to get married, you want to get children.
Yes.
Maybe Lena can tell us her journey from that time up to here, and what she feels actually, what is cooking in her, so that we can be able to hear. Okay. Karibu Lena.
When I reached a stage of dating and having relationships, to me it was normal. I met, in fact, good men in my life. I met around 3 men who were serious with me, but not at the same time. It was one at a time. One of them, when I had completed for my Form 4 and I was joining college, he came to our home asking me a hand in marriage. But because I was a young girl, I was yet to join college, I could not give a hand in marriage. So I was like, let me join college, and then after some time I'll decide. But because he was working, he was a senior government officer, and then he had pressure from the parents. She met a different girl and married. So it took me time again to get another man. So I got another man, and because of religious differences, he was a Muslim. You are aware of that. And I could not become a Muslim, so we could not get married. Then I also had a serious man who was not a Kenyan. And then we had, all these men, in these relationships, it was long distance relationships. And I've said, I used to have one man at a time. So that challenge of long distance relationship, you like the last man in my life could travel over to come and meet me. And whenever he used to come, I don't want to mix issues. Let me talk about now marriage first. So this first man, that is what happened. The second man, it was religious differences, religion. Then the third man,
Matter of age.
No, distance.
Distance. But we were together for a very long time. He also came for introduction at home. Everyone knew him. He was a serious man, but he reached a time he could not come. We had differences. At first, we did not want children. Then he reached a place. He's the one who never wanted children at first.
In the first
place. But with me, I had no problem. So I think he had his own issues. And when it reached a place, he was like, I want a baby. And when he used to come, he does not prepare me and know how my cycle is flowing. He could just come, maybe sometimes I'm having my menses. Or he could come, I'm not fertile. So he could stay like a week or 2 weeks and then he leaves. So that was a challenge why I did not get a kid maybe with him. But when I was thinking that maybe we could continue with the relationship, and again in my own plans, I never wanted to have a kid without a father. So I did not want to get pregnant when I was not married. The man was serious. He used to come all the time, but now he was not talking of marriage, but all of a sudden he talks of a baby. So because I was in love, why not? And because he was supporting me, why not? So I was like, okay, he wants a baby. But now the challenge, as I've told you, was the timings.
Okay, Lena, before you proceed, just for clarification purposes, the first man, it was when you were young, you had just finished high school and you were going to college, and I think that is not time for girls to get married. You really want to date and get a feel of the dating world. Then because he was employed and he thought, I can't wait, you lost him. The second one, the religion now separated you. The third one, you are talking about the distance he used to come and not. I want just for clarification to purposes. When you say he was coming and going, how far? Where was he coming from? And what was the distance that could keep him away and maybe it became a challenge?
He could come from Denmark, but he was working worldwide. He could be in Africa, maybe West Africa or South Africa. Then he could come maybe like after some months when he was in Africa. But when he was in Europe, he used to come like once a year.
So he was not a Kenyan?
He was not a Kenyan, he was a Danish.
Sawa sawa. Now, I think I want the viewers to get this right. This is a young girl who is in a dating field. he's gotten a man, and maybe because of the obligation, because he didn't maybe give you a reason, the beginning he didn't want a kid, and maybe because you were young, you didn't see like it was a big deal. We can have fun, the kids will come. Then eventually he wants the child. But now the problem is maybe he's coming once in a year, and he's coming for 1 week when you're having your menses. Now you can't get the baby. Maybe the next time he comes and you are not on your
the fertility period.
The period. Now you can't. So it went like that. I want us now to single out at what stage did you now therefore realize that apart from the cycle and the distance and the menses, that now you cannot have a baby?
Of course, when he wanted a baby, I started telling him now to go as per my cycle.
Kukupanga.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he tried like 3-4 times, we could not make it. Then I was like, he takes a holiday, like for some 3-4 months, we take a holiday to look for a baby. You know, Europeans can accept that, or can understand why I was saying that, or even any learned person can understand why I was saying that. But all of a sudden he was like, I have wasted him, and he have wasted him from nowhere. Then he could not come to see me anymore.
Okay, had you wasted him because now he realized you are not getting the baby as fast as he wanted? Okay.
Yeah.
So and maybe just to get clarity, maybe from your story, I could read that you were willing to have babies.
Yeah.
Probably because of the issue of love. Is that true? Okay, so how do you feel about that issue? Like, this is a guy who was, maybe if I got you right, there is a communication fringe. Like, he doesn't communicate when he comes so that you can plan yourself well. And then again, from nowhere, out of the blues, he wants a baby. And then out of the blues again,
he's blaming you. Yeah.
He's blaming you for not having babies, yet he doesn't communicate. How are you feeling about that?
I felt bad because it is him who was not wanting a baby at first. Then he wants a baby, I'm trying, and he's also trying. Then he could not give me time to continue trying. So he just left without any squabble, without any quarrel, without anything. He just left. So as usual, I used to wait for him to communicate that he will come. But
so how do you feel about somebody just going quiet on you like that?
Of course, you'll always be waiting for him because you never differed in any way. You'll continue waiting for him,
and you will also wonder, like you'll keep on searching inside you what really went wrong. So when did the questions stop, or when did you now therefore now you have waited, because you can't wait forever. You have now waited. He's not coming. Also now you know the age is also moving. At what stage did you now stop waiting for him and now think, do I still want to look for a baby? And did you continue looking for a baby? And what happened?
Yes, I did. But I'll start from where you said, when did you realize that he was not coming?
Yes.
When I was still waiting for him, of course he came. He came and he did not tell me that he was coming. So we had bought some land, and we wanted to install a tomato industry. And then I think what provoked him maybe to want that baby, he was not a Kenyan, but the license required that
to own property.
Yes. So we were supposed to, maybe he thought we were supposed to have that baby and maybe have an affidavit or marriage so that we could get that license. You get the point? So after we was okay, when I was still thinking he's not coming, he came. And I was like, no, we cannot wait for the baby. We can swear an affidavit or have something official for us to show that we are a couple, and then we can get a license. So I think maybe he thought I could con him or something. I don't know. So he came, but he never told me. But because that land was where my dad used to pass when he was going to work, when he was passing, he saw like there were people in the farm, and I used to farm that farm. I had reared goats, a lot of goats in that farm. So when he saw when he saw people around and he saw, of course, a white man, he was like, oh, your person has come. I was like, no. I said, you rushed there.
Without telling me.
Do you know I never rushed there because I was in a shock, because he has never just come and ambushed me, or has just, I used to collect him at the airport. So now he's come, he's in the farm, and I'm not aware. And you saw the person who was taking of the farm could just read from the eyes what people are saying, but he could not, she could not understand the language. And of course she could hear people saying Lena, Lena, Lena all the time. So she was so disturbed.
Then just a moment, After now he has gone and you are not talking. Now the last conversation you had was about you are wasting me. Now he wants the baby. You are not getting the baby as fast as he wants. Now he has gone away. How long did he take to come back? Now before your father saw him on the land?
2 or 3 years.
And he never called you? He never communicated with you?
He communicated to me that we were to sell that piece of land. And then he buys me some piece of land, 3 acres, smaller land, because that one was around 10 to 12 acres.
Okay.
So he was to buy me some land. So, I was not shaken. I knew if he has found a buyer, then why not? He has not ever let me down. So I was still hoping for that. So I did not, naturally, I do not follow someone around. So I knew if he has come, then he will let me know.
Okay.
And I did not rush there. So I was in my house, but of course in a shock. So when I waited the whole day and he did not come, is when I was like, I have to look for him. Because I knew when he comes to Bungoma, the best hotel around was Tourist Hotel. So we used to stay at Tourist Hotel. He had a friend around here with big business. Yeah, I could get him through that friend. So I came looking for him. And we had also bought a house near this, after Mbig, this hotel used to be called what?
Blue Waves.
Blue Waves, yes. So I could also check there, because when he came, there were some renovations there. He wanted to sell that piece of land and do something else for me. So I could get him between Tourist and that place.
Okay.
So when I came around, I went to Tourist. I asked if there was a guest by his name. Then I was told, yes, he's around. Then I went and looked for him. At the houses, he was not there. Then I went to his friend's place, the premises. Then I found them here. I found him here, there. So we went to the hotel and talked. He was still insisting that he will do what he had promised. So that is how I lost him.
So
are you trying to tell us that after he promised he's going to buy you land, he never bought the land? So that means that probably he was giving you some signs, like, I'm selling this and
he was
buying
finding
land.
close,
so he was trying to like exit
Yeah.
without having a direct communication.
Of
and
course,
probably
of course.
and probably being you said you have a very strong principle of not following people around. So probably you could not see that, like he has said. And you also mentioned that he has never failed you. He has never disappointed you.
As I've said, when he was in the land, I could not believe that maybe he was running away from me.
Okay.
I just knew he has come and he is doing his things. Then
and preparing a surprise for you.
And of course, if I wanted to contest that land, because it is me who processed, it was on a loan, it is me who cleared the loan, of course with his money, at the KFA, at the headquarters, I'm the witness on that land. If I wanted to revenge maybe or go the legal way, maybe he could have not sold it. But because I trusted him and we had not differed in a way, I was like, he will of course communicate. Yeah.
Okay. Now he sold the land in wherever it was. He sold the house you had bought here. Okay. To me, it is pointing like somehow
That time, he did not sell the house. The house was still intact.
Okay.
He only sold the land.
And eventually, now he sold the house also.
After now, I see that things were not. We believe that these people are always true to everyone.
Yes.
If he says he will do something, and I've said he has never let me down, I believed in him. So I believed that he was doing it. And of course, it was bought by his money, and then he will buy me another piece of land.
Okay.
So even when I followed him, he did not show me any signs of, walking away, or he never denied me anything. In fact, when I followed him, we spent together that day, and he was just normal. Then he was like, look for a piece of land and then we will see. So I looked for a piece of land, but now he was not communicating. I was still hopeful that he will do it.
Okay.
Right?
So
Just
you
before,
proceed.
just a moment. When you heard that he was on the land, then you looked for him at the houses, at the hotel, and eventually found him at the friend's house.
Premises.
Yes. You never asked him how this time he came without informing you, or just coming because the land is very near your house. I presume. He has come all the way from Denmark, come to the airport, taken maybe a taxi or a bus to Bungoma, then taken a matatu from Bungoma to wherever, to Namwera, the way you have said. He has not told you. Okay, ideally, if it were me, I would have asked, even if he didn't have a problem, it would be a pointer. Why is it that this time you have come, you have not told me?
Of course, I asked.
What was...
And he told me because he had gotten a buyer. With who told him that it was urgent, he wanted the money, so he had to fly in because it was an emergency. He could not have time to prepare me, but he was planning to come and inform me. But now the question is, I'm part of the land. I'm the one who is taking care of the land. I'm the one who is farming the land. The worker that he was on the land was my worker. But I wasn't there when the transactions were going on.
And also, ideally...
So it started bringing communicating something to you.
And also, now that even if he had gotten a buyer, it was easier for you to get from your house to the land than him flying. Because if he was being honest, he will have just called you and said, there is a buyer, I'm on my way coming, but in the meantime, can you...
Look, but this is someone who has never let you down. And you never differed in a way. You will still trust in him. Yeah.
So I wanted to know maybe the level of your relationship. Were you guys maybe engaged officially, or it was just a matter of...
We were not engaged officially, but he was known to my parents. He could support in every way. He could come around. There was a special day for us. There was a special day of visiting my relatives. There was a special day for a party home. And then he could cater for everything. While we are pairing, he's shopping for my parents. So that was the procedure.
Okay.
Yeah. So he could only visit one that he had invited. That was his. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Maybe if we can talk something about family. How do you feel? You started by saying that when you were a young girl, you admired to go through the process normally, just like any other woman. Do you have family as we speak?
Family as in
family,
my siblings,
your nuclear family, like you have your own family, you have your children, you have a husband.
I said I've never been married.
You said you've never been married. Thank you for that clarity. So how do you feel about it? How does it feel not having children? How does it feel not having a husband, or rather a spouse?
If I may just continue from where I left, I said earlier on that I never wanted to raise children on my own. And you can risk to get a child, and then because you want a child now, you are getting somebody to marry you. I never wanted to raise my children with different fathers. So that is why I wanted to get married and raise my own children with my husband.
Okay.
So in that process, he left. And you see, after such a relationship, a supportive relationship, a relationship that you've had for a very long time, for years, you just don't just walk in another relationship.
Okay.
So from there, you see, of course, I'm an African Abukusu, and people fear you as a Mzungu, Mzungu's wife. So they feel like you are expensive, unaringa, all those names, you have them. So men tend to run away from you. You get the point? Now, my age was also moving. I wanted a baby, but now a challenge is, do I just want a baby and be a single mother, or I want to get married? Then when I say I want a baby, will I raise this baby and get a husband, and then I'll subject my baby to a different relationship? That was the challenge. So I kept hoping that I'll get a husband and get married and bear with him children. We raise together. If it means divorcing, maybe, or differences or separation, but I am married.
Not from the word.
Not from So it really took me a time to get another man. But I happened to get a man maybe after a very long time. But as you know, when you get a man at a certain age, you might not get a man who is single.
Yeah.
When you get a man after 35, you might not get a man who is single. Of course, you'll get a married man. This man, this Muslim man, we of course we go together again. But now he was married.
Okay. Now the Muslim guy came back in your life.
Yes.
Okay.
But now he was married.
Okay.
And of course, I could not change back to Islam.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was a matter of having company.
Okay.
Yeah. If he stuck on his point that if I have to get married to him, he did not have
That's
any problem
Muslim.
because them they are polygamous. But now I could not become a Muslim. So he kept me company for some time, but now I was like, where am I going? Then in my 40s now, 39, 37 years, I got another man. But you see, when you get a man, as I have said, this will be a married man. And this married man maybe doesn't want another wife
Yeah.
or children. But now you see, I had decided I want a child.
Okay.
If with a husband or not having a husband, because of age, now I wanted
Okay.
a child. Because I love, mom knows I love children. In fact, maybe I'm the best aunt. Maybe in our home, somebody could be called Auntie Primrose, Aunt Rosemary, but me, I'm just called aunt.
Without a name.
Yeah, and in fact, one of my nieces told me, if sisi tukiambiwa ni auntie, it's you. Hapana Auntie Lena, aunt, auntie. So I love children. Any child that will come around me, you will see her or him bonding with me in a very easy way. So I was like, I want a baby. But now this man maybe doesn't want to marry you or want another child with another woman somewhere.
Okay.
That was a challenge. But of course, I am open. I said like, I want a baby. Then he was like, yes, why not? But in the course of breaking with the Danish, then when I was having this guy, I got pregnant. This Islam man, I got pregnant at a stage of four months. I miscarried.
You lost the baby.
I lost the baby. So after losing the baby, I was still young. I was not a sensitive age, so I was like, I'll get another baby. Then after like 5 years again, I got pregnant with the same guy. Then I don't know what happened. I like cleaning, mom knows. I like cleaning. That day I cleaned my house. And one of my friends was like, hey, ufai kunini, ukikuwa kwa hiyo state. She knew I was pregnant. Then I was like, na uchafu inaniletea ugonjwa. So I miscarried again.
Oh, sorry.
So after miscarrying, I think that man was also giving up. Was giving up. He wanted now to be with his family, and I cannot slim to be an Islam. Then
So he can't marry you.
He can't marry me.
Okay.
And then it's like now he started limiting my visits to. Of course, he never used to come. I am the one who used to travel to Nairobi. He was working in Nairobi, but he's a costian.
Okay.
So tukaachana. So after breaking, now we don't have another man. It's like you are saying, I'm not fortunate with men and I'm not getting a baby and you want a baby. I got stigmatized. And of course that second child, that second baby, I was having that man and I could not conceive. So I was forced to go to see a gynae, Dr. Kasembeli in Kitale. He's one of the best gynaes.
Okay.
I went to him. And then he was like, I'll give you, did the checkups. Then he discovered I have narrow tubes also. I had a problem. I have narrow tubes. So when you have narrow tubes, you are given hormonal drugs. You are given Clomid. Clomid is a fertility drug.
Yeah, true.
So when you take that fertility drug, you have to have, even the doctor will tell you, you have adequate sex. And with one man. But unalima shamba. That is what the daktari told me. So I had Clomid, but a challenge is this is a long distance man.
You don't have a man in your house.
Yes, I don't have a man in my house. So this is a long distance man. So what do I do? So I have friends. I used to share with my friends. Friends were like, we bado una groove na wababa. See, tunaenda digital. So I was like, sasa nikichukua kijana mdogo who is not even hata mdogo but not my age, itakuwa aje? So they were like, wewe unataka mtoto ama unataka mwanamume? You get the point.
The end justifies the means.
So baadaye ndio nikapata hiyo mimba ya pili, nikamiskari, and then sasa ikakuwa vile nilipata hiyo mimba ya pili nikamiskari, sasa kupata mimba ikakuwa ngumu, and this man is not there. So unaona, so that is how I got that piece of advice. Tafuta kijana, what you want is a baby, and then ukitaka kijana hata omba ruhusa akuje, ama hana fare utakuja.
Wewe utamu.
So I used to have I'm sorry to say this, but I used to have a boy who was staying with the father. He was a single parent. The father took care of 2 boys. So this boy had cleared his Form 4. And then when I used to go to Nairobi, I had a poultry project. So he used to take care of my poultry project and sell the eggs and then sleep in my house because there was insecurity. So we were used to him, and he was a good boy. He was free with me. He could cook for me. I never had any feelings with that boy. But the dad used to tell me, Lena, you are not like other women in our locality. Why can't you be one boy to my son? So I used to rebuke him and tell him, how can you tell me that? That is your firstborn son.
Yes.
And you are, as you've said I'm a respectable woman. You don't see me moving around with different men. How can you offer me your son? He was like, my son has been raised by me, and it's like he's going on drugs. And you are a mother figure. You can nurture, you can
nurture him as he nurtures you.
So he kept on repeating, but I could feel bad. I rebuked him. Before now, I saw Dr. Kasembele.
Okay.
So after seeing Dr. Kasembele, I'm not even seeing the boy. So when my friends were telling me you look for a young boy, I was not even thinking about him. He was like my small brother or my son or something. But I never even realized that maybe that boy had any interest
in feelings for you.
So I used to rebuke the father. So the father used to insist. So when I shared with my friends, and they were like, we utaki bwana, utaki kijana, you want a baby. In fact, now that you are in your middle 40s, this boy is the one who can give you a bright child. So I was like, okay. But I'm scared of the boy. I don't want the boy. I don't see him as he can even move near me. So I went and shared with my mom, my real mom. I was like, Mom, I went to the doctor and this is my problem. Of course, Mom was like, if you are not getting married, then get a baby for yourself. So I went and shared with him and said, Mom, the challenge I have is that I need adequate sex, but now I don't have a husband. I'm not.
That is a conversation you can only have with your mother.
I'm no longer meeting Mwamboga. So what do I do? My friends are telling me I look for a young boy. So my mom, like, if you can get a young boy and he can clear your barrenness, I have no problem. You know. You know how Bukusu can put it.
Yeah, very crudely.
If you can get the boy and then you give me a grandchild and, erase that name of a barren, then I have no problem. So I was like, Then I went back to my house. The boy was now like, when he was hearing the father telling me that, he never now used to go to their house. Now he had rented a house for them. But when he cooks, he likes cooking. When he cooks, he doesn't want to. He will pretend he's watching TV. He's doing what he doesn't want to leave. So now I had.
Now you started looking at the boy in a different light.
It never came. It completely refused to come. So one time, that first boyfriend of mine, the one that
the government officer,
had given me a knife. This knife, you switch it on, it's in Aruka. Then when you switch it in, then he was like, when you get with another woman, you will stab that woman. So I had kept that knife. So I wanted to show him how that. One day I was like, niko na kisu haijawahi tumika, because I never used it even to cut a fruit or anything. So I showed him that knife. So when I showed him that knife, he said, like, let me see how it works. So I gave him the knife. When I gave him the knife, he repeated what I was doing. So when I wanted You are still a young boy. When you get your boyfriend with your girlfriend with another boy, you will stab him. So I cannot let you have this baby.
The knife.
So akakatalia. So we struggled with that when I wanted to snatch him. So in the process of snatching, I realized he was in a different world.
It was not the knife.
He started romancing. So I was like, what are you doing? Then he was like, I've been waiting for this for too long. But you see, I never gave in. I refused completely. But now, when I wanted him to leave the house, I was so annoyed that I chased him out of the house. He cried and he said he was going to hang himself. So I was like, if you want to sleep in this house, you sleep in my guest room and you don't disturb me anyway. He was like, yes, I'll just sleep wherever you want, but in this house.
Okay, so, Lena. I wonder, I think we are having so much to process.
Yeah, true.
There is okay. This is a story that very many people maybe have. They go through this every day. They have never shared it, and it has a lot of information.
Yeah.
But I want us to take a break. Remember, we are cooking. I'm just imagining even the njugus are now. I don't know if they are okay. That time we just want to look at what we are cooking, so that we also take a breather. Okay. I want Lena to now recollect herself. It is not easy.
True.
Now you see she has gotten to a place where her own mother is now telling, just find somebody who can remove your barrenness. Yeah. And you know, us who come from the Bukusu society, we know what it means.
Yes.
And for a mother, she must have been talking from a point of heart. A point of feeling really very sorry for the daughter. Now there is this man on the market who is now telling Lena that I want you to be our boy for my son. So you know, when somebody says that, one, it is derogatory. Unaona sasa? Like now, unajua unazeeka na hauna bwana, acha tu nikupee kijana yangu. Yani in one perspective, the intention might be good, but that the father, and you know that is not the now where people don't really mind about nini. We are talking about like almost 20 years ago, yes, where the phenomenon was not widespread, and like we are this boy is how come the father is giving his son off like that?
And this is a firstborn son.
Yes, and this is he has lived with Lena in the neighborhood, and he knows she's not a young person.
Yeah.
I want us to go on a break. Then when we come back, we want to look at how that progressed and at what stage that Lena found out that totally she cannot have a baby, and then from there we will now want to have a professional because here I think we are dealing with around 2 or 3 issues. We are dealing with the relationships, we were dealing with the property, and we are dealing with the issue of children.
Yes.
So a short break and we shall be back.
Maybe before we leave, she could just complete for us. She says, Mama, we'll proceed and then we will cut.
Yeah, if I can clear the boyfriend's story.
Yes.
You know, like when I let him sleep in the house, we slept in the same house but in different rooms for months. Mm-hmm. Then I realized he was having a girlfriend around my place. Mm-hmm. So I felt jealousy. Then I was like, oh, so he has a girlfriend around. Mm-hmm. So when I started feeling jealousy, I was like, oh, maybe because he's not getting what he wants, that is why he's doing this. Mm-hmm. So now I told him to move to my bed.
You decided to give him what he's looking for outside.
But now, even after moving to my bed, it was not easy because I had that stigma. Mm. And then, as you all know, when you stay single, you always want to be careful with your life. You want a baby, but will you have a healthy baby? So I was like, ukinitaka, lazima tupimane. And you see now, everyone around had known that I am, even before I consented to his feelings, everyone knew that I am having a relationship with a young boy because he was free with me. So he, at the same time when I'm telling you it is a challenge, having a baby is a challenge. He wants to sleep, to be intimate with me, but he doesn't want to test his status. Mm-hmm. He was scared. So I was so scared because I knew maybe he's having a chain of girlfriends and he was dangerous. So, as you know, when something like that happens, there was a relative of the mom around. And then this relative had called the mother and said, your boy is married to an old woman. So the mother was married to a different man. And you know, they were not staying around. They came from Mumias. They were coming from Mumias. So the mom came and he caused chaos on the market. And you know, my dad has a clinic on that market. So he came around and he really wanted to know this old woman that the son was staying with. So the dad was like, oh, why not? Let me take you there. So the mother came with the boy. And then we had differed with the boy because he did not want us to know our status. So we had not gone far. So when the parents came, the mother was shocked to see that I was not the very old woman that they were talking about. Of course, I was younger than this. And then they called the boy to come around. When they came around, I was like, yes, I stay with your boy. We are in a relationship, but we had not reached a certain stage. Why? Because people believe around here that I'm HIV positive. And your boy is still young. He's maybe having a chain of girlfriends. And then he doesn't want to know his status. So the dad was like, oh, so that is what it is. Then he was like, let me call the boy. So the boy came around. And when he came around, the dad said talk to him about the counseling and testing. The importance of testing. But the dad was also saying that he has never tested, that he was willing now to test. The mother was having a young girl, and he said, I was tested when I was pregnant, so I can still do it. So the boy, seeing that the father was willing to test, and then he has never tested, so that is how he tested. So I told the parents, if your boy will be found with any problem, now you know my status. So from there is when we started being intimate.
Okay, from there.
Okay.
Thank you.